So, here's the plan. So just how much fabric did I get? Well, I had all the bags and boxes that I had gotten out of the truck, and I'd placed them down the hallway of my home, which, remember, is only 1,050 square feet. So by some standards, that's small. That was done on purpose because smaller house, smaller mess. Also, it requires me to be pretty darn crafty on just how I'm handling storage. Now, what I wanted to do on this second day was to get everything out of the bags, get everything out of the boxes, because honestly some of the boxes had seen better days. I'm not sure how old some of them were, and some of the bags were even, not many, but a few were kind of falling apart. So I wanted to get everything out, which was exciting at first, but as you'll see later on, this does kind of get a little out of hand. We have an amazing amount of score in this pile, and I would sometimes get distracted, and I was trying to stay on track, like, alright, should I go ahead and kind of do a quick sort? Is there some rhyme or reason on what I'm doing? There were two main things that I was seeing, like common threads, no pun intended, with this pile. There was a lot of polyester and there was a lot of cotton, and then there were a few bits of material that were for like fancy. They were fancy, they were slick, they were silky. Some of it was heavy denims and some material that looked like you could have upholstered a couch. And of course my mind was thinking, all the potential possibilities that I could make with this. And it was inspiring. I was every time I was touching some of the materials, I was already kind of envisioning what potential product could come from this. And so I had to stay focused and make sure that I was getting rid of all the little bags, and then starting to think at this point, when I had to bring out a second sheet, how was I going to store this back into something manageable? But it was really neat and fun. My youngest son was helping me with the unloading, just like he did on the first day with the truck, and he was getting excited and looking through there and finding some materials that he thought were just so cool, and seeing him get enthusiastic about fabric, that was like, oh wow, this is maybe something that we can bond over. But I don't know, I have worked with him a little bit on trying to learn how to sew, and I'm teaching him a few basics, but he's 6, almost 7, and anyone who's raising a young boy can understand that, after about like 5 minutes of trying to thread a needle and make a straight line with stitches, he's on to the next project. So, but at least there was some initial spark that might be able to come back later. And he's real good about helping me sort things, and he's already got training with laundry, and he is a great helper in my life. Now, something else that I need to kind of bring into this story is the main antagonist, who we will lovingly call my husband. He and I have been married almost 14 years as of the time of this recording, and I'm very proud to say that he's my husband. He is my best friend. Things go, I believe we have a great relationship. But as with every relationship, no matter how great, there are the friction points, the conflicts, the issues, the underlying drama and tension and threads going throughout the relationship, and you build on it in time. You either mend it, you break it, you fix it, you patch over, and well, anyone who's been through a relationship for so long can relate, I guess. But anyway, I am not an expert on marriage by any means, but let me tell you that that whole theory about how opposites attract is very true. My husband is very much easily could be categorized as a minimalist. He does not like clutter. He does not want stuff being all around him. He wants clean surface areas. He wants clean floors. He has very particular criteria of what he sees as a welcoming, relaxing home. And I'm not sure why he thought that I would, me being the very opposite of that, I don't know, like, okay, we're going to live in the same house. And he knew me for like a year and a half before we got married. He knew what my house was like. My surface areas are chock full of items, and I have been, I come from a long line of family members that just don't see the need to have a surface area without something on it. And you see an empty surface area, it's very inviting for something to land on it. And why not? And then after about a couple of months, it's covered. And you don't have to worry about dusting so much because it's covered. Nah, it's a joke. But I am constantly having to fight against my true nature, where I don't mind if there's clutter. This whole big pile of fabric, that doesn't bother me at all. Like, oh well, that's there, and that's easy to access, and I can see what there is, and I dive in thinking about the potential of the fabric. My husband, on the other hand, he's sitting on that couch and he is getting anxious. You can see there's some nervous movements. He was eating a moment ago and now he's not eating. He continues to drink his drink, like just constantly fidgeting. He is not liking what he's seeing, and I could just imagine what's going through his mind. Where is she going to put all this? How long will it be in my living room floor? I can't even walk. Bless his heart. I know he loves me because he puts up with it. He is not in his element here, guys. And I told him I tried to like kind of cushion the fall. Like, okay, I'm going to make a video about this. I'm going to document it. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to try to find people who, might be entertained by this, or I don't know where it's going, but I got this project in mind, and he is all supportive about it. I mean, doesn't that just show some love? So he is supportive, but after about day 4, he's going to start wanting things back like it was, like at the beginning of the video. And I knew this, so I have anxiety because I'm anticipating his anxiety. And I'm like, man, I really don't want him to feel anxious. I don't want him feeling uncomfortable in his own home space. That's just, even though it doesn't bother me, I am mindful of how it's bothering him. Plus, I got 2 kids. I need to be modeling good behavior, right? Right. So, I guess I need to be getting busy on how I'm going to repackage this stuff after doing this quick little assessment session and get to work on finding places to actually store the fabric before I can get to working on it. Oh, right. I also need a place to work on it.